Hello and welcome everybody. Stefan here from Erdbebennews. This time on English with a topic that is very important these days because there is a lot of fear and confusion about the situation that's currently ongoing in the Kashmir region. There's a lot of people being afraid that there's a very strong and devastating earthquake coming because there's currently a earthquake series with like magnitudes up to 4 in the region, and people are afraid that this is like a sign that the entire region will experience a strong earthquake magnitude 8 or higher, like they did uh, like 2005, or even more devastating. And we decided that this was important enough that we'd make a video here in English, especially in case somebody from the region wants to watch. And without further ado, let's get right into the topic. So, in this map, you can see all the earthquakes from 1900 to now, and we can see that this entire collision zone has a tremendous amount of earthquakes. We, in this video, are going to focus on the direct collision zone here. We're not going to go into the northern part here. This is where the main focus lies. And we can see that we have what we could call like clusters, because these clusters are focused around strong earthquakes with magnitudes like over 7 or over 8 that occurred in the past, and those created secondary earthquakes in their wake as a result. For example, here in Pakistan, we had an earthquake of magnitude 7.6 in 2005, which caused the death of 86,000 people. These are estimates, obviously. And as a result, there were a lot of aftershocks, which create this cluster here. Then we had another big earthquake here in 1905, southeast of the Kashmir Valley, with its aftershocks here. Then we have another cluster focused around an earthquake in 2050 in Nepal, 15, sorry, as well as another cluster around the Assam earthquake in 1950 with magnitude 8.6. And we also have regions where we have less seismicity. These are here in the west of Nepal, as well as like in the east of Bhutan here. And the important thing to remember is that if you have a active collision zone like we have here in the Himalaya region, that means we have constantly accumulating stress. And if you have less earthquakes, that means that this stress keeps building up and building up and building up, which means that regions that have less earthquakes that are occurring in recent times are more likely to experience stronger earthquakes, or in general earthquakes in the future. For the western Nepal region, for example, the biggest earthquake that was found through scientific research happened in the 1400s, and the strongest earthquake in the eastern Bhutan region here happened around 1100. And with those earthquakes of magnitude 8 having like recurrence times here from like 500 to 1,000 years, it obviously means that if we don't get any big earthquakes here, that the likelihood for stronger earthquakes is a possibility here. And if we focus on the Kashmir region, we can see that in the Kashmir Valley itself, and in Kashmir in general, we don't have that many earthquakes, which is obviously another reason why people are so afraid that the current like earthquake series that is going on there with magnitudes of like around 4 is like an indicator that a strong earthquake is coming. And why I can see why people would think that. I have to say that that is not like really true, because we have very many earthquakes of magnitude 4 in the past decades here. So this is not like the first earthquake swarm with magnitude 4 that's occurred in the region here, in the southwest region. We have a lot more of these. And additionally, like these earthquakes, especially these very strong earthquakes, they can come without any notice. Like there doesn't have to be any smaller earthquake series that indicate these. It could occur in any place along here, this region. Obviously, the Kashmir region is one that people have to look at in more detail, because there has not been a very big earthquake there. But saying that this is like the main reason why there is going to be a very strong earthquake of magnitude 8 in the region is flawed. Additionally, because of its high population density, this region here, the Kashmir Valley, doesn't even need an earthquake of magnitude 8 or higher to be destroyed. As we can see here, this Pakistan earthquake had a magnitude of 7.5, and it caused the death of 86,000 people, as I already stated. So if we get another one of that size in this valley, the results will be just as devastating, not even more devastating, because like above magnitude 7.5, like the damage is similar in scope, but not in size. So an earthquake of magnitude 9 is going to cause like the same amount of damage, just on a much grander scale. But since this area here is densely populated, even an earthquake of magnitude 7.5 can easily destroy the entire area. And another thing to keep in mind is that despite the fact that we had an earthquake of magnitude 7.5 in the region, doesn't mean that an earthquake of magnitude 8 or higher is now less likely because we had a magnitude 7.5 earthquake. Now we have to have like a lot of stress being relieved. No, the fact is that a magnitude 8 earthquake has 31 times as much energy as an earthquake of magnitude 7, which means an earthquake of magnitude 7 is very, very small compared to the amount of energy that is being released in a magnitude 8 earthquake. So to speak, we need 31 of the Pakistan earthquakes 2005 to release the same amount of tension in the rocks that would be relieved if we had one earthquake of magnitude 8. So that is also not something that really helps in the region, so to speak. Obviously, the question is, what is more devastating, one earthquake with magnitude 8 or 31 of magnitude 7? I think both of them are very, very devastating, and we obviously hope that that doesn't happen. But hoping that this earthquake in 2005 delays it, or just is enough to counteract like the tension building in the region, is sadly not the case. So as a like synopsis, as a final thought here, we have to say that this entire region, it's not just Kashmir, but the entire collision zone here has a very high likelihood of very strong earthquakes occurring. The fact that we have these earthquakes of magnitude 7 in recent history doesn't reduce the chance for earthquakes of magnitude 8 or higher, and regions that do have less activity are more likely to experience activity. So people in Kashmir, they are right to be afraid that an earthquake could occur, but please don't take the current series of earthquakes with magnitudes 4 as an indicator that it's gonna happen soon. It's gonna happen like, oh, it's happening this year, it's happening next year. No, this earthquake series is no indicator for that, as I've already given the reasons for that. We obviously hope that earthquakes that devastating do not occur in highly densely populated areas, but stay alert there in those regions. Take care, and I hope you liked this little excursion into the Himalaya region. I hope this helped alleviate some of your fears, or maybe it makes things worse. I hope not, because, well, we hope that these earthquakes don't occur in these populated areas. But I'll see you next time, and bye!